Hello everybody, it's Sephiroth244 for another episode of Paranormasight. Last time we started putting pieces together with Yako. We found out that Mr. Janucci was dead, and we learned a bit more about what was going on from Hitomi. But now, we're going to look around and see what else we can find. Let's start with Candy Shop. I like candy. Everyone likes candy, right? 9 a.m. Yako Sakazaki. Sonoya. And so, Kurosuzu and Yako Sakazaki decide on their next location to investigate. That's it? What? Did I go to the wrong spot? Oh, I wonder if sending them to a specific area affects how the other paths go. Oh, that would be interesting. Like, you know, depending on where they go first. Oh. Okay, well. That's hilarious. I could have just ended the last episode. Like, I could have waited like 3 seconds to click something. Oh well. Okay, so yeah, we have to keep in mind that we're going to put them in a specific spot. Well, let's go back to Harue. Throughout the night, Richter continues to gather information about the curse stones while Harue lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. (10 a.m. Shigemo Mansion. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night, then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. Let's look at the mansion. This is an old mansion where I was born and raised. The town is beginning to wake up once more. The clamor of society can be heard from beyond the garden gates. Like any day, a cloud of pollution drifts out from the industrial area. I like when we have, like, actual music going on in the back, you know. We may be surrounded by curses and death, but it matters little. My only concern is whether I can see my child again. He's looking a bit tired. He must have been up all night investigating. See, there's no one's in the mansion at the moment. The door's been locked shut. The housekeeper's already left after cleaning and preparing food. Okay, well, I guess let's talk to you. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? Our current plan is to steal Curse Stone, but that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with Curse Bearer and have them use the right for our purposes? Oh? I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you expect. Compensation. Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for families rich as the Shigemas, would it? Of course. Why, any amount would be fine if it'd get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back with the ransom. Okay, that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. Yeah, last time she tried to pay the ransom and they stopped her and it didn't end well. About the curse bearers. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in the area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Hanjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? That's what I thought. Even if the victims are curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't yet seem like anyone's gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal. Now the curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if this situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it all off intended. Now that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose. They're all likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers? You got a sharp mind, man. Though it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they're after the rite, that would be very risky. Since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. So it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right, but despite that, they've been setting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls while other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action, which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? There's still reason to suspect the mastermind to be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. There's a mastermind inside the curse bearers to collect soul dregs. Can we be sure there is even a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught, do you want to give up, ma'am? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curse ourselves. He's like her conscience. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from investigator extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. First, there's Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before, though she isn't a curse bearer herself. She's a student attending Tokyo University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricha Park. You even determined her address? You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum pretend to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. It doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. I couldn't keep track of her. And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She is planning to steal curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Next is the tall man who is dressed in black. I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out all the way with the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as secretary to Hahaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yomioka. Yeah, we met him before. The Haku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Hanzhou, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on news a few years back. She seemed to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assume she wanted her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right, even 10 years ago there were many complaints about the chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. That hasn't changed. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better look later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the right would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare? Now that's an interesting thought. I have a feeling it's not it, though. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soldier eggs, right? Yeah, indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him, though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, it's Mr. Ariishi. But I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the Rite of Resurrection, the one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Ariishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he is involved? How awfully suspect. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. From what we know, I doubt it. He doesn't seem smart enough, which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. You got a lot to say, buddy. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Haku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down on South Wargasu Street. Hey, about the kidnapping. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns a serial killings. There was a body found in Komagata High School. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Janucci. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means two people who know the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shirishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay it a visit. Understood. In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Hanzhou serial killings, there's Michio Shirishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue to occur like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before this cursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved even with those killings. How? What if there are preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries' curses? Can we really assume that they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up with this one too. I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We may even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right, let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. Alright. Where should I go to begin my search? Which places have stood out to me the most so far? Yeah, well, we have Midoricho Park, South Waragasui Street, and Komagata High School. Let's start in the street here. This is where he said he found, Ariishi. Oh, this is where the soaps place was, right? The Haku Soaps headquarters are on the other side of South Waragasui Street. They are closed and unvisited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. To think a small soap-making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsue Yamamori is called the Queen. Chemical producer that ranks 4th largest in domestic detergent market and 7th largest in cosmetics. From its humble buildings is a small soap factory established after the war in 1946. Founder Natsue Yamamori utilized her feminine perspective and well-timed economic boom to boldly lead the company into new markets. Even as the market grew crowded with the industrialization of Sumida City, the company continued to expand, digging its roots deeper into the area. In particular, it established itself as a household name by focusing its branding towards the rapidly expanding convenience store market. Its flagship products now include cosmetics, detergent, soap, shampoo, and more. The company's name, Hihaku, can also refer to kasuri, a type of patterned fabric. Natsue Yamamori. Natsue is a former president of Hihaku Soaps, a large chemical company. Though she retired from her position 2 years ago, she still wields great influence over the company from her position of chairwoman. Recently, there have been rumors about her possessing strange and powerful magical abilities, earning her the name the Witch of Hihaku. Prior to the war, Natsue enjoyed working her dream job at a textile factory. She was forced to face the bitter reality of the world, however, when the factory was destroyed by a fire during the war, and she was ordered to rework the fabrics she had painstakingly crafted into something more suitable for blue-collar work. Witnessing the rise in popularity of Western-style clothing in the post-war period, Natsue left the textile industry. However, a nod to her past can be seen in her company's name, with Hihaku being another name for kasuri, a type of fabric featuring patterns and images woven with dyed fibers. Having long been dissatisfied with the soap supplied to the textile factory, Natsue saw a business opportunity to set up her own small soap factory. Taking inspiration from imported soap brands, she develops new products which quickly gained a good reputation. Ever the shrewd businesswoman, Natsue ran an aggressive promotional campaign on TV featuring a popular Japanese singer, rapidly turning Hihaku Soaps into a household name. Sorry. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary? That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A cursed bear with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Waragasui ran through this area. It's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinshichu Station or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. Stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. It's quite the lively area, huh? I suppose you'd call it somewhat of a city center. South Waragasui, literally partitioning ditch, refers to a waterway dug down the middle of a road so as to divide it. At the dawn of the Edo period, the Hanju district was little more than a collection of suburban rice farms. As the area became more developed, South Waragasui was excavated in order to drain rainwater into the Jiken River to the east. Though it served the people long and faithfully, it was converted into an underground culvert at the beginning of the Showa era. In the present, no trace of it remains on the surface, but the street that bears its name. Anything else for me to look at here? No? I guess the building. Business up and running. I can see people inside the reception area. Guess I have to talk to you. He tells me he barely slept last night, and yet he seems to be brimming with energy. Was I too that resilient at his age? Perhaps it's what sets apart a detective from the rest. First, I need to confirm whether Takumi's the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. I'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. Should walk around, visit a cafe for some tea, perhaps? I'm gonna go in. I may be a while, so feel to find somewhere to kill time. I think it's supposed to say feel free. Okay, good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How'd it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night, but it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connection to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night, however. You said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did last night to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? You're right, we lack time. I'll confess, I'm a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the Haunted Clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Ms. Yamamori. Is that so? Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Ms. Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamyodo who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? There are curses. These are curses we are speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. See, he's making sense, but he also killed us when we were playing as Shogo. Very interesting. That said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. 6? Whoa, I can rest at ease then. Here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. Seems we are on the same page. In that case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. Sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now? Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you, I'll oblige. He almost sounds sincere in a very creepy way, and that's how it went. So they aren't after the right after all. I won't be so quick to trust him. Oh? I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. He seems rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul drakes. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been getting caught up about the occult more than ever. If word spreads that Hihaku chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. Oh, that's unsettling. Yeah. By the way, there's one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People are discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Despite that, I've reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the Seven Mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I get that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It would be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on to the next area. How interesting the Queen of Hihaku, or the witch, whatever she is trying to get her hands on the right of resurrection. It's like some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what is or isn't true, you must stay one step ahead. And yeah, so next time on Paranormasight, we are going to head off to the next area and see what other information we can gather. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Sephiroth Told 4, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.